Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today because we have some very exciting General Hospital news to talk about, and it's definitely worth the wait. You know, I've been following General Hospital for a good many years now, and I swear some days it feels like these characters are part of my own family. The other afternoon, I was sitting in my favorite chair, and that scene with Nina came on. Lord, I felt my heart tighten up watching her. She stood there, ready to give Jack that second injection, just like Willow had told her to. But then she stopped. She just couldn't go through with it. And I'm telling you, that single moment might end up changing everything for her. I've seen Nina make one bad decision after another, all in the name of trying to protect or help her daughter. She's gone pretty far down some dark roads lately, but this time, something inside her just wouldn't let her finish what she started. She put the needle down. She didn't follow through on what Willow wanted. When I saw that, I actually let out a little sigh of relief, like I was right there in the room with her. Now, the big question that's been rolling around in my head ever since is this: what really stopped her? Was it her conscience finally speaking up after all this time, or was it plain old fear? I reckon it might be a little bit of both, if I'm being honest with you. On one hand, I'd like to believe it was her better angels winning out. Maybe that little voice in her heart finally said, Nina, this is wrong. You can't keep hurting people like this, even if you think you're doing it for family. Lord knows she's got plenty to feel guilty about already. A mother's love can make you do crazy things, but there comes a point when even the strongest love can't excuse crossing certain lines. But then again, I'm a practical man. Jack was right there watching her. He wasn't some fool who didn't know what was happening. One wrong move, and Nina could have found herself in handcuffs, staring at a long stay behind bars. That's enough to make any person freeze up, no matter how tough they think they are. I don't blame her one bit for being scared. Prison is no joke, and losing your freedom changes a person forever. Still, I'm proud of her for stopping. It felt real. For once, she didn't push forward with another mistake. Maybe this is the moment where things start turning around for Nina. Maybe she'll finally start thinking clearer and try to fix some of the damage she's caused. Or maybe it's just another twist in her complicated life on that show. You never really know with General Hospital, do you? I'll tell you what though, these kinds of stories are what keep me coming back. Watching folks wrestle with right and wrong, love and fear, family and consequences, it reminds me so much of real life. We all make mistakes, especially when we think we're protecting the ones we love. But the brave ones are those who can stop themselves before it's too late. I'm sure looking forward to seeing what happens next. Will Nina finally tell the truth? Will Willow understand? Or is this just the beginning of even more trouble? Whatever it is, I'll be right here, watching, coffee in hand, hoping Nina finds her way back to the light. Life sure is messy, ain't it? Even on our favorite soap operas. You know, I've been sitting here thinking about Nina on General Hospital for quite a while now, and that whole situation with Jack has really stuck with me. The big question I keep coming back to is this: did she finally listen to her own conscience, or was it something else? After everything she's been carrying around, I feel like this might be one of those turning points that changes a person. Ever since that day Nina injected Jack while he was in the middle of that nasty fight with Valentine, she's been tormented by guilt. Poor Cynthia Watros really shows it on her face. You can just see how heavy it's weighing on her. She hasn't been the same since. I've watched her pacing around the hospital, looking lost and completely worn out. Her spirit is broken, like the light inside her is dimmed way down. It hurts to see a strong woman like Nina reduced to that. Guilt is a powerful thing, my friends. It can keep you up at night and follow you everywhere you go, and that's exactly what's happening to her. When Willow came to her and told her to go back and give Jack that second injection to make sure he stayed paralyzed, I thought for sure Nina would do it. That girl has been manipulating and threatening her own mother, yet Nina keeps protecting her no matter what. A mother's love runs deep, doesn't it? Nina has said many times in her own way that she would do anything for Willow. I could feel the pressure building as she prepared to follow through. She was ready to go against her better judgment again, just like she has so many times before. But then, right at the very last moment, something inside her changed. She stopped. She couldn't bring herself to do it. She just couldn't harm Jack with her own hands. I let out a big breath when I saw that scene because it felt important. After weeks of watching her make one bad choice after another, this time felt different. This time it seemed like her conscience finally won the battle. I really believe that's what happened. All that guilt she'd been carrying since the first injection finally became too much. She looked at what she was about to do and realized she couldn't live with herself if she went any further. Being the editor of Crimson, a woman who's fought hard to build her life, she finally drew a line. Even though Willow kept pushing her, Nina chose to go against her daughter's wishes. That took real strength, let me tell you. It's not easy to say no to your own child, especially when they've got such a hold on you. Of course, I know some folks might say she was just scared of getting caught. But from what I saw in her eyes, it was more than fear. It was her heart telling her that this was too far. She'd already crossed so many lines trying to help Willow, but this one felt like it would break her completely. I'm proud of her for stopping. It gives me hope that even when we've made mistakes and gone down the wrong path, we can still choose to turn back. Watching Nina struggle like this reminds me so much of real life. We've all done things we regret because we thought we were protecting our family. But there's a point where love shouldn't mean hurting other people. I think Nina has finally reached that point. Maybe now she can start healing some of that guilt that's been eating at her. Maybe she'll find the courage to stand up to Willow in better ways and start fixing the damage that's been done. I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes next for her. Will this decision bring her some peace, or will it create even more problems? One thing's for sure, Nina has a long road ahead, but at least she took one step in the right direction. These stories on General Hospital always make me reflect on my own life and the choices I've made over the years. Life sure is complicated, isn't it? Especially when family's involved. But I believe there's always a chance to make things better if we're willing to listen to that quiet voice inside us. You know, the more I think about it, the more I wonder if Nina really listened to her conscience this time, or if she was just scared out of her mind. Maybe she hasn't reached her moral limit yet after all. From what I saw, the main reason she couldn't go through with that second injection was because Jack was looking straight at her. Remember the first time? She snuck up and injected him in the back while he was fighting with Valentine, so he couldn't see who did it. But this time was different. His eyes were right on her. That changes everything, doesn't it? There's something about hurting someone while they're watching you that makes it feel a whole lot more real and a whole lot harder to do. And let's be honest here. If Jack wakes up, he's going to know exactly what Nina tried to do. That man isn't just anybody, he's a WSB agent. If he survives, Nina could find herself in serious trouble, the kind that lands you in prison for a long time. I don't think she could handle that. No matter how much she loves Willow, losing her freedom might be too high a price to pay. On top of that, Nina knows her daughter too well. Willow would throw her right under the bus without blinking an eye. She'd let her own mother take the blame for everything, for what happened to Drew and to Jack. Nina's fingerprints are all over that syringe, and Willow wouldn't hesitate to point the finger at her. That kind of betrayal from your own child would break any mother's heart. I've got to say, this might be the moment when Nina and Willow finally have to go their separate ways. It would be painful, no doubt about it, but I think it might be the best thing for Nina in the long run. Even if she doesn't see it that way right now, sometimes the people we love the most end up hurting us the deepest, and it takes real courage to step away. So here's the question I keep rolling around in my old head. Is Nina really feeling guilty, or is she mostly just terrified of going to prison? I think it's probably a mix of both, but fear might have been the stronger voice in that moment. What do you folks think? Have you ever had to choose between family and doing the right thing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you see this whole messy situation. At the end of the day, I'm still rooting for Nina to find some peace. She's made plenty of mistakes, but she's also been through a lot. Maybe this is the wake-up call she needs to start putting herself first for once. Life's too short to keep carrying guilt and fear on your shoulders. I'll be watching to see if she finally turns things around.